Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a historical rules event for you. Our first round is going to be Pry Forward, followed up by the Pry House. So this will be two events in a row where I've seen only the Pry maps. It's a beautiful thing. Before we get into this though, thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description where you get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Our regiments for today: on the CSA side, you have the Army of Northern Virginia, the Kentucky Orphans, Hampton's Legion, Hood's Division, Texas Guards, 51st New York, 13th Georgia, 1st United States Sharpshooters, and the Alabama Volunteer Corps, whereas on the Union side, you have the 11th Mississippi, Lee's French Legion, New York Volunteers, 1st Kentucky, 20th Georgia, 2nd United States Cavalry, and 2 Corps. With that being said, numbers for today's matchup is 250. In balance is 6 towards the Union side. Both sides have artillery. CSA have 5, Union have 4. So that imbalance is 9 infantry-wise in favor of the Union, and I'm sure they will appreciate that. Frontline reporters to give you the on-the-field view for your Union side. You have Flores here from the 11th Mississippi, and then you have Gene here from the Hampton's Legion. Very appreciative of these guys to give us their frontline view so we can see what's going on in the sky while also being able to see what's going on the ground. So, Pry Forward, it's a pretty open map. The Union, as all attackers do, have a ticket advantage. That ticket advantage is a 18%. So, Union can afford a little more losses than the CSA. And the weaponry that Union has to get this done, they have the 4th Pennsylvania Regiment with the Sharps Carbine, pistols, and swords. And they also have the 2nd United States with the Springfield 61. On the opposite end, the CSA defense, they have the Holcomb Legion with the Sharps Carbine in the Enfield, and they have the 17th South Carolina with the Enfield and the Springfield 61. So those Sharps Carbines that I mentioned, we'll see if I can find them, but here's one guy with them. So you can see these two guys here. One of them has a long weapon, that's your normal weapon, Enfield or Springfield 61. The other one's a Sharps Carbine. It's half the length of your normal weapon. However, it reloads at double the rate of all the other guns in this game, and so they can shoot more frequently, but because they're shorter, they suck at melee. So it's kind of that trade-off, right? Anyways, for this event specifically, there's no sprinting until the 30-minute mark, so we got 10 more minutes of double-quicking and quick time, and then they also can't have bayonets until that point. So this is trying to encourage a more historical style play, as the event's called the Historical Rules event, and they want people to, you know, actually form double ranks and shoot like we see here. So that is the reasoning for that. Pry Forward, it's a map that's kind of changed, especially as of late in terms of the meta. Historically, what we've seen the Union do is they like to gather up on this right side and just charge into the CSA lines. Now, the reason why CSA is holding on this side of the map, you got point of contention kind of in the center here. You can see Union artillery is located over here. And so CSA likes hiding on this side of the map to defend artillery. But more importantly, if the CSA loses this side of the map, Union can take these rocks. Eventually, Union will be able to roll up kind of on this defilade here. And if they throw CSA off this point hill, CSA is going to be squished in their main spawn. And as you can see, there's not any significant cover for CSA to use, especially if they want to leave. So that's why CSA defends this side. Union likes to go there most of the time. However, as of late, as we've gotten these higher server counts, the CSA has been able to defend the position. Nice arty shot from CSA. By the way, CSA artillery is right behind there next to their spawn. They should be getting some nice juicy shots. But as time has gone on, as the player count has increased, the CSA side is able to get a lot more guys defending this side, and when you have Union going across this open field, CSA could just throw lead. And I think a bigger part too is we mentioned that one of those Union regiments has pistols, and they are capped to 17 men. Now, I don't know if sometimes the events have different rules. Sometimes events will be like there's going to be no cap on this, so you can have many guys on pistol as you want. But in the general game rule sense, you're only limited to 17 guys with pistols. And so, as these server counts get bigger and bigger and bigger, the pistol group of the Union side becomes a smaller and smaller percentage of the Union team and of everyone on the server, so that they become less effective overall. Still deadly, but less effective. So actually, I don't know if we can find where the sharps are. Or the Union
I
side.
saw that man moving too as he died, but it's all good.
There they go. It looks like Lee's French Legion, they've got these. Which, if we look at the things here, 4th Pennsylvania, it looks like they're capped here. I would assume they put more guys on it if that was the case. So, Union a little limited in that. Another part of Union, the issue for Union on this map is that the Sharps Regiment, they only have one company. Every other infantry regiment in this game has 2 companies, and each company has a flag. So, Union's got 3 flags in total, because they have the Sharps company, that one for their regiment, and then they got the normal infantry regiment, which has 2 flags. CSA has 2 normal infantry regiments, so they'll have 4 companies and 4 flags. So CSA, in any kind of short shootout, will be able to out-respawn the Union. So, that's something the Union has to watch out for. Especially if they want to get into a closer engagement. They have slightly better weaponry, though, so... It's just hard to outpace flag respawns when a flag someone spawns in every 5 seconds. And then we're seeing what Union's doing now, which is what Union's starting to do as of late. Union's been pushing from this opposite side. You wouldn't think they'd want to push from this side just because of how wide open the field is. But, I mean, outside of the CSA already, which can be annoying for Union and CSA shooting at them, it feels like Union coming at this side, there might be a little less defense for the CSA. Just because if CSA wants to push the Union back from this side, they have this little hill here. But outside of that, they don't have too much forward defensive spots here. The Union can just slowly kind of roll up here, and you're seeing them do that now. Granted, CSA is not really contesting this. And for some reason, the tickets are dropping like crazy from the CSA side. I don't know why that is. With how conservative CSA is kind of playing, it's a little surprising. Normally, you'll see CSA like form a big line and kind of contest the Union there. But CSA is kind of falling back. If Union does push through this side, right, they have CSA has the rocks there. They can use the hill here in the center to kind of collapse around the side. They have defilades back here that they can use. So, maybe pushing from this side is better, but obviously it is a case-to-case or event-to-event or round-to-round situation, right?
Gentlemen, could you take on the targets to the north-northeast? Would you be able to shoot the guys?
Because depending on who's playing in a round, the result of it could be really different one way or another. Who knows? Because like that's the thing is I normally don't think sitting and shooting works. It shouldn't work. Everything in this game, everything the changes that have been made have killed shooting. Holy crap! But yet we see the Union able to shoot down CSA, and it's not like CSA's dying and skirmishing or out of line. Because this event forces you to be in single or double rank based on the number of men you are, but you're supposed to stay in formation most of the time. You don't see guys spread out a lot. I mean, they are in double rank if they're more than, I think it's 15? Or maybe it's 10. I think it's 15, though. And that can lead to increased casualty rates in this game, which maybe could be a part of it. It'll be intriguing to see the end screen, just why the tickets are kind of dropping like this. But regardless, that's great for Union. You normally don't see Union have success like this on this map this early on. Maybe this side of the field's better side to shoot, who knows? I mean, when I watch both EU and NA battles, just as an EU one, watch more NA. I think I watched 4 NA events versus 2 EU events. But the strategies are different, the metas change, and that's kind of the neat part. It's like if I only watched NA events, I only get one side of the story. Now, do I prefer that side of the story? Yes. But, you know, it's still nice to watch these big line battles every once in a while. It's also nice to see different strategies.
Steady.
Nice CSA already shot in the back.
Good shooting. Excellent.
Anyways, it's it's fascinating because you have the EU side, which has its own type of strategy here, which is a lot more line battle-y, not as much charging, which I would consider to be meta. But you have, like, even in the NA, there's 3 different types of events, and I'll give you this volley without talking over it. So, even in the NA, I would say there's 3 sets of events. Like, not that this matters much for EU, but in the 3 sets of NA events, I watched 2 of those sets, and even within those, they have different sets of strategies, and it's neat. So,
I have to talk to the others, and we have to push up slowly, steady, and push them out of the right-hand flank.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna try and anchor the left as long as we can.
so
Alright, A and V on me.
2 minutes until bayonets and sprinting can happen. The no bayonets rule isn't really that big, but the no sprinting can make it difficult to try to effectively take the ground. I mean, it could also be that CSA is holding in a lot more open positions than the Union are, especially right here. I mean, Union's got a fair amount of entrenchment.
Break those reloads, turn around.
But, wow, I mean, this is... Oh my goodness. Well, that could also be why. I mean, when you're in double ranks, you're going to take a lot more casualties. This is kind of how it is, you know. It might not do well for you in the game, but we're in a historical rules event. Generally see in the more meta events. Meta as in how to play the game, how to optimize the game so that you can get the most amount of value out of what you're doing or the minimum amount of casualties, right? You'll see teams kind of form open order like this. They're still in formation, but they're spread out, so bullets, it's harder to hit the line like this instead of when everyone's clumped up. So I like what 2nd US Cav is doing. I've seen this a fair amount, especially in the big open maps, and it usually works out very well for them. So Union's actually pushed up on this side. CSA's not defending these rocks, and the 2 core guys, 1st Kentucky up here as well. They're just gonna go onto it. CSA's kind of holding in the death blade. And right now, CSA is just kind of letting the Union take land slowly. But eventually, they might get cornered over here. I don't think I've ever seen CSA get cornered on this side of the map. Because normally, Union don't push over on this side. And actually, well, interestingly, too, CSA are kind of keeping their flags back. They don't want to lose them on these maps. CSA hits engaged. Bayonets and sprinting is now enabled. And I know I'm much more of a charging meta type, but I mean, this is working phenomenal for the Union, so they might as well kind of keep this up. Union's kind of pushing up on all fronts. They're trying to squish the CSA, and here's our first charge of the day. And Union is going to take this pretty decisively. That's huge. And that's the thing, too, is that... Oh, there's canister. That might have been double canister with the amount of pellets. But what a win there from Union. It looks like they get... it's their flag, but Union's going to pick that back up. That's why CSA kind of kept their flags back. But Union flags are a lot closer to that melee, so they were going to be able to do a lot more things, or at least be able to survive in that charge for a lot longer period of time. That's the thing, too, is that when we watch this... Oh, here comes some more charges. CSA is going to try to take their rocks back. And Union kind of backs off there. That's the thing, is that Union just kind of across the whole width of the field just kind of slowly pushed up on the CSA. And normally these maps work out very well for the CSA because, like I mentioned, Union most of the time will just mass charge these rocks here. And CSA just completely envelop and collapse in on this one spot where the Union likes to go. And CSA can defeat the Union in that charge, but Union was just able to push across the whole field. And maybe CSA just needs to get better shots, but
We should be fine to the right.
you really cannot let the Union just do what they did. Because now Union essentially has control of the point. Are they early capping? I mean, I think LFL's on the edge of it. And they're going to back off. Union should not early cap. They got a good amount of a ticket lead here. There's no point in throwing that ticket lead away, because if they cap it and CSA retakes, CSA goes up to the percentage of tickets that the Union is at. So, we'll see. 2nd U.S. Cav and some 11 Mississippi guys are pulling off. 20th Georgia still holding forward for the Union.
Good job. I stick that guy spot perfect.
Got it.
Thank you, Long Guard. You're a rock star, man. That's good work.
But Union's kind of backed off again. They're reforming. Wow. Union hits engage. What a start for Union. We got CSA main spawns, 13th Georgia and 6th Alabama. They're going to get some nice flanking shots. Wow. You know, out of all the events that I watch, this event, the amount of tickets lost from sitting and shooting always surprises me. It never drops as fast anywhere else. At least I get a feeling. 2nd U.S. Cav charging up on this side. You know, I'm surprised these guys don't have the Cav for the Union with the pistols. And they're going to hit these 6 Alabama guys on the side. And there's not many of them left. They don't have their flag. What are you two doing? Eddie, how'd you miss that? Yeah, you hit the next two, you made up for it. But Union's almost up a whole morale stage. I don't remember the last time I've seen Union be this dominant on this map. This is wow.
My company to line march.
The CSA has to hope that Union caps points so they can regain tickets, because they're in a terrible... The CSA just let the Union kind of take ground. And actually got more Union charging. The Cav going up on the CSA. CSA flags back out almost instantly, along with half of the CSA defense. I mean, CSA... They're not going to hold 11 Mississippi's here. Wow. Well, you know, I only thought LFL was there, but 11 Mississippi came in.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Into line, boys, get into line.
And they are trying to continue this pressure. 11 Mississippi and A&V, probably the two of the most aggressive regiments in this event. And CSA side is trying to get out before they get pushed in, but this is... Honestly, if you were squished from CSA, I'd much rather be squished on the other side of the map than this side, but who knows.
Alabama!
They're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead.
And as they wipe the first Union, NYV is turning to try to face the CSA. They'll get them down to taking losses. And they will hold that. Where is the NYV flag? It was not there. So, you know, good on NYV. I don't know where they put their flag, but, you know, smart for them for not necessarily losing that. Maybe? I mean, yeah, only 3 Union flags are over here, so. Parker just said they're spawning back at main, so. which is a little surprising. But anyway, CSA's pushed the Union out of that side of the map. They've gotten over here. Union can roll up onto this side of this little hill where LFL is. And I mean, it's kind of at the point where Union can control this side of the map, just like where I'm drawing my camera at. And then you can kind of just squeeze the CSA into their main spawn. And wherever the CSA wants to go, they got to charge across the open. But right now, CSA's in a very, very bad spot. Which it looks like they're trying to push out and retake the grounds again. Texas Guards are going to try at 2nd U.S. Cav. It looks like the rest of the CSA is going up top onto the point. You can see that off on the top left side, barely.
Come on, 2nd, let's go! Get in there, 2nd! Go, go, go!
And it's close. Ooh, hello there. Close charge. We also got something a little bigger happening on this side. Union sweep through and hold that CSA push. Trying to chase down the flag. They should get it. More CSA reinforcements collapse on the far side, so they'll be able to push that. But the rest of the Union team is taking care of CSA. 2nd U.S. Cav really dying for the rest of their team when you think about it. You know, a lot of CSA went over to 2nd U.S. Cav, and now the Union team has completely ran through the CSA center. Now, Union just needs to watch and not overextend too much. I don't know. 20th Georgia's going in. You just as Union wouldn't want to overextend, lose your flags at this point, and let CSA regain all those defensive positions that you worked so hard to get. And you have a huge ticket lead, though, so it's not like you need to be overly aggressive. But aggressive they will be. 11 Mississippi getting a wipe there. 20th Georgia nearly wiping the CSA there. But, and in the end, it looks like Union's gonna win this.
Hold, CSA, hold, CSA, hold.
I'm friendly.
Okay, I believe you.
So, CSA reforms. Props to CSA for still keeping most of their flags. But, yeah, now Union's nearly pushed CSA into their spawn. They've pushed past the point and are basically at the final spot for Union that you'd want to be. I mean, a couple CSA has slipped over here, but unless the whole CSA team does like this movement and then they get behind the Union team, they're not going to pose too much of a threat. Now, Union is capping. They shouldn't. LFL on it again. They need to get off. You don't want CSA regaining a morale stage and tickets, not when you're this close. This isn't saying CSA would retake if Union capped, but I'm always assuming the worst case. What are you doing?
Aim low.
But it looks like the CSA guys over here collapsing back in. Texas Guards trying to reform with their team. And Union's going to push them down.
Officer front.
And at this point, Union can afford failed charges like that. Again, it's just trying to get them down. The 88th is going to go in. And they should clean this up.
You fucking idiot, don't charge a man with a gun with a fucking bayonet.
It's a nice cleanup job from the 88th. And it looks like 20th Georgia. Oh my goodness, more Unions charging. Union's like, CSA has really just been rolled over this whole time. Union's just kind of done whatever they want to the CSA, and CSA just has not reacted. CSA is about to hit breaking. At that point, Union can cap and win. I don't remember the last time I've seen this bad of a performance from the CSA side. Union's already starting to pre-cap here. I like it. 6 New York on that. Wow. CSA's got to start moving towards point. They can't just sit back, go into breaking, and then Union will cap and win. Or maybe they just want to give up and go to the next round where they will have more of the advantage. Wow. 6 New York pulls off. They got to get everyone off still. Nice job from 6 New York there. They need to, CSA needs to go in. They can't sit. They can't sit and wait. I don't know what CSA is waiting for. You're gonna hit breaking eventually. CSA is starting to push up center side. Already shot hits there. And they're going to go in because they need to, or else they'll just eventually drop the breaking. They should have done it a little sooner, but maybe they're waiting to try to go in as a team. Which they hit breaking. 6 New York. I'm sorry for missing that arty shot. Union starting to turn around to the point. CSA charging in. I think it's too late, though. Maybe. Oh, CSA takes it back. Man, that was so close for them. I mean, not that anything has changed. This is going very well for Union. What is the Union flag bearer doing? What are you doing? Union already has a flag problem being down by 1. Don't want to lose that flag still. Oh my goodness, you can see the pistols just unloading. I don't think Union's gonna... Oh, maybe? I didn't realize there's Union guys on the far side of first view here. I thought that was all CSA. CSA winning up point. And that's 2 Union flags down. Oh my goodness, team kill galore.
Keep going, fellas.
You're not dead yet. Get on point. ABC, move east.
Wow. Now, the only criticism of Union there, maybe 6 New York should have kept like 2 or 3 guys on point. I mean, as long as they're in skirmishing, you don't need to have 3 on point per se. But they could have. I get why they didn't want to. You know, me saying that, it's like if they wanted to get the win right away, that's what they would need to do. But I get them not wanting to be on the point. You don't want to risk early capping there and giving CSA a chance. We just saw CSA win that charge. Like, imagine if Union capped when they were Union capped while CSA was still taking losses. The counterattack happened, and CSA retook the point. And now both sides have a similar ticket amount. I mean, the battle has completely changed at that point.
Or did they just miss?
So I wonder if that would have been one of the. That would have probably been one of the quicker HRE matches if. One of the quicker HRE matches if Union would have run right there, but regardless, Union's still in a phenomenal spot. I mean, the ticket gap is not necessarily a morale stage; it's a little less than that, but Union's in a phenomenal spot. Union can burn tickets. Union could sit and shoot this out for 5 minutes, wait for the flags to despawn, and then go in, or they could just go in right away. They've got plenty of time to do what they want, and it's absurd. And now, nice part for Union as well is CSA is forced to stay near the point. And so Union can kind of get some nice shots on the CSA from this side. I'm surprised they're holding right up here. They gotta either go in those rocks and pull back a little further.
Hey, I figured that out perfect. No, you did not.
Double quick, rush.
Double quick.
And Parker, right in front.
Thought the officer was going to pull the binoculars out there. Anyways, 3.5 minutes until those flags despawn.
Heck, but why are those people so hard to see when they're in the shades? It's a joke. April's Fool.
Guys, new line.
And actually, Union's pulling up in a spot I really like on this map. They're actually sending guys up to get the flags. They're not picking them up. They pick up 2 of them.
Steady.
NYV is in a very good spot. It's defilated, so it kind of protects you from CSA arty, but also protects you from CSA infantry with the defilade. It's a very nice spot. Union get 2 of those flags back. Well done. 1 of those flags back. Well, Mississippi is holding really far forward here. Why are they crouching? Union can burn tickets, but at the same time, crouching as they die. They didn't lose a lot, though. They can lose 3 times the amount of tickets if they were standing up. That's just a nitpick. They have enough tickets where they can burn that, but I don't like it. And they're going to go straight in. CSA's charging around the side as well. And right now, CSA's holding the point, but they might hit last stand. Union following the breaking, nonetheless.
Kill these cavalrymen. Kill these cavalry.
We're not cavalry. Mate, are you actually looking? I pick up the flag, Anderson. Sorry, you're not even part of my unit, but I'm just ordering you.
And more Union reinforcements. Some 2 corps guys. 1st Kentucky are going to roll up. They need to hit CSA in the last stand. You can see CSA has a downed flag, and I don't think they're going to pick it up. There's no point in them picking it up anymore. But this doesn't... CSA's not winning this game. Wow. Wow. And the crazy part, too, is I watched Union last night. They did a sit and shoot from this side here. And they were losing on the tickets in the shootout. Now, the CSA defense then is going to be different from the CSA defense now. But this is just surprising. I really wonder how next round's going to go. With CSA attacking on a map that's decently biased to them. What? Okay. To preface, before I say anything, nothing CSA does will let them win this game. I don't know if they're just charging in to have fun or what, but they'll hit them in the last stand a lot sooner. I mean, if Union was close to hitting final push, I would definitely argue for this. I would think this is a good idea, but I hit some last stand. Fascinating. So, those guys, if you're dead, you respawn back at main, but at this point, if a CSA guy dies, he don't come back.
Keep moving forward towards the west.
So Union's got a little less than 10 minutes to do whatever they want. Which, they're just going to go straight in.
Into him, boys. Hey, what you boys doing over here?
Already team kill, gotta love that. It's kind of a hard shot for CSA though, because if they're trying to hit the Union over there, you're gonna shoot through the crest of this hill to try to hit that. So Union's slowly taking the point. Melee's occurring. And looks like the rest of the Union team is moving up. Union's got their flags back. The last few CSA are charging up, trying.
I'm just gonna empty this pistol real quick.
Oh, that was a short-lived little tune.
Still losing point, Chopper.
You're okay, you're okay. Stay with us. We got it, We're not gonna do anything anyway. Let's go.
Foot!
Shot!
I ain't got no more bullets, but I got this cold steel.
And that is going to be the end of our round. I really want to see the casualties at the beginning of this round because CSA was dropping at an insane rate.
Hey, Cobb.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
That was easy. GG.
What was that? But oh, really good job from Union. That was very impressive. CSA, I don't know if they just had a skill issue with their shots or if Union was just out-shooting them really well. But regardless, CSA just kind of got rolled over this whole round. I mean, there's a lot of CSA dying in skirmishing. Don't necessarily know why, unless they were crouching, but fascinating. That definitely is a big part of it. Regardless, huge win from Union. They just got to roll over the CSA. Nothing much more there. Anyways, we'll see you all for round 2. And here we are with the start of our second round. Pry House. CSA is going to attack. I wonder how aggressive they're going to be. Before we get into this, though, server pop as of now, it's 264. Imbalance is 10 towards the Union side. Both sides of artillery. The CSA put 8 on it. The Union have 7. So that imbalance there, or sorry, they put 15 on it. It's an imbalance of 7. And so that infantry imbalance is going to be 3 in Union's favor regardless. So let's get into the fight here. Pry House, it's advantageous to the Union, or CSA, not the Union. That'd be funny if it was. Could almost hope that that would be the case because CSA outnumber the Union in terms of tickets by 17%. It is a CSA attacking map. It would make sense they have more tickets, but this map is insanely biased towards CSA. They win it a lot. And Union's got to find some way to change it. I mean, it really depends on how CSA plays to determine how this map goes. It looks like CSA is going to play aggressive, and I like that. Anyways, CSA's strategy on this map, in my opinion, is to cap point immediately, force the Union out of their strong defensive positions, because Union have defilades across the whole width of the map. So you got to force the Union out of these strong defensive positions, engage and melee and fighting near the point, which as CSA would be very good for you because that's going to engage in close melee. It's going to bring everyone's tickets down, and that's exactly what you want as an attacker. And most of the time, the CSA will win on tickets as if they hold it good enough. But you'll see sometimes as well the CSA will like to sit way back here, kind of where we see some CSA sitting back now, and just kind of shoot it out with the Union the whole time. That doesn't make any sense in my opinion. Most of the time what you see happening from that is CSA lose the shoot-off against Union because Union positions are superior. And then on top of that, CSA wastes a lot of time. So I like that CSA is playing aggressive. Remember, no sprinting, no bayonets until 30. But anyways, weapons on this map. Union has the 5th New York with the Sharps Carbine, Springfield 61, and the 20th Maine with the Enfield. CSA, on the contrary, have the 8th Alabama with the Enfield and the Springfield 55. And they have the 8th Florida, which has the 55 Springfield, the Enfield. But more importantly, they have the Springfield 42. So CSA's got buck-and-ball, which, why wouldn't you want to be aggressive on this map, especially when you get buck-and-ball maps? Really tiny, CSA is able to run up on point like they are and hold it. Now the black timer stops, gold timer starts. It's 20 minutes since the Union is in battle ready. It would be lower if Union was in a different morale stage, but they're in battle ready, so it's 20 minutes. And if CSA holds it for 20 minutes, they win. Now, Union can obviously contest and retake the point if they want to. If they do, and Union's down on tickets, they'll go up to the percentage of tickets that the CSA is at. Now, as of now, it looks like Union's slightly down, so if Union retook right now, they'd regain a little bit of tickets. If Union's up on tickets, when they retake the point, they won't regain any. But that's the gist of the counterattack. As a defender, you want to retake the point quickly, because as a defender, your goal is to get that clock down to 0. That's your only goal in the game while maintaining your tickets at a reasonable amount. But you want that clock to go to 0. Right now, that clock is not ticking. And if you do not retake the point quickly, you're giving the attackers a lot of time. You're giving them more time to win the map. Like, right now, CSA's just had an extra minute and a half to kind of do what they want. So, most of the time at early cap is a good thing in my opinion in most instances. Right now, this map in particular, this is one of those maps that is very, very good for early cap. So Union's going to have to respond quickly to this. Now, CSA is considered a defender, so CSA could drop in the last stand. If they did drop in the last stand, Union could retake the point and then win, but you got to be aggressive throughout the whole counterattack because you'd have to knock the CSA down, like, what, 4 stages? And that's, you know, 4 stages in 20 minutes, you got to move quick. Anyways, Union's moving up already, trying to take the point. A and V for CSA. I'm not surprised by that at all. A and V Texas Guards on the point.
Right here, boys. Keep shooting. Right here. Let them have it.
So, I like that CSA's contesting this. You can see everyone's bringing down tickets. As long as CSA keeps a ticket lead or the tickets even throughout this whole counterattack, it'll be a very huge success. Because as a attacker, as long as you keep tickets even, you're in a great spot. Especially with a very tiny map like this. So Union's trying to push up, CSA's contesting. It'll be interesting too because you'll see a lot of times if CSA charges too far forward to try to push the Union out here, Union, if they have guys on both flanks, which they have guys on the left here, but not the Union right, the Union will like do a pincer attack and pinch, having these guys cut inward on the point here, and these guys will also cut inward onto the point there. Which Union's not really in a position to do that because everyone on their right side is on the center right now. They could still pinch over from this side, but it won't be as effective because when you can hit a CSA group from 3 sides, that could be damaging. 2 sides, it could still be damaging, but maybe not as effective.
Decoy, they're on the stone wall directly in front.
Alright, ABC, keep up independent fire to your front. Damn, Moss.
Did he just get shot in the back? It looked like you got shot in the back.
Damn. Damn, Moss.
Nice shot, Vadim. That's all I'm dropping.
That did look like a team kill.
That's what marksmanship practice was.
I mean, hey, good shot. You know, you got to hit those shots, those point-blank shots, and you did. So, Union started their push-up. They're retaking the point. CSA, I assume, is going to contest this. Union slightly up on tickets. CSA actually has moved the gun all the way up here. So Union securing their flank pretty well. On Mississippi getting nice shots on HL. And it looks like Union's gonna retake the CSA. Has a lot of guys sitting back, not really trying to hold it. Which you need the whole CSA team to do this. Sprinting moment. That's what they get for sprinting. I don't know if it's necessary. There's some. I think it's like down to taking losses. If it's during like a counterattack when bayonets and sprinting can happen, it's taking losses, or it's a certain time on the gold timer. I don't remember. Regardless of all of that, Union retake, and Union's up on tickets. So, you know, Union taking that a little slow is fine as long as they get a ticket lead out of it, which Union has, and Union's actually continuing to push down. But if Union wants to play for tickets, which at this point you kind of have to, there's too much time on the clock. But you need to make sure you get a third of a morale stage at a minimum ticket lead if you're Union. That's what I generally say on a lot of these maps. If you don't get that much of a ticket lead, it's going to be very difficult for you to win that. So. And with that, CSA first to drop.
Oh yeah, he's out in the open. He's out in the open. That flag. That like, they're both to the wall. Just take shot.
Double ranks as well, but in a single track. On this line right here.
Over slow to take aim and
So that Union group that pushed up backed off. I mean, that was kind of a bad spot, but appreciate what they were trying to do. But I mean, at this point, CSA's got 38 minutes. And Union's basically engaged, so 38 minutes to knock them down 2 stages is. You got plenty of time.
So they cannot say we're just shooting in different direction than the line is facing, which should be all allowed.
Rank against the wall, lads.
But they could keep capping again. I know, at least if I were CSA, I would cap again. There's no necessarily reason not to. I mean, you lost on the ticket battle there, which can be a little concerning, but you weren't down by a whole lot. So, all things considered, it's not the end of the world.
Call arms. Re-aim. That big company's gonna come out.
I was gonna say that's a long time to aim.
Take aim.
Stay down, 13. Right here, boys. Take aim.
I mean, a fair amount of these CSA guys are crouching as well. I mean, they're trying to get a little more cover, but unless you are 100% in cover, I don't think there's any good reason to be crouching. You're going to lose 3 times the amount of tickets if you die when you're crouching. So, Anvy's pushed up again. They're trying to cap it. They're really only going in on their own. And they have to be in double ranks as well, which is what you don't really want when you're trying to cap a point like this. You can see them just getting completely shredded up by the Union side here. Anvy, if they want to do that, they need more help, and they need a lot of it. Union countercharging, trying to get one of CSA's flags.
Get over here.
To the rear. Fucking let's have some then. You fucking cunt.
Oh my god, northeast tag burn. That's all enemy.
Northeast? Yep. Oh shit, break it!
Team kill.
Up the dress. Keep aiming.
So, Union actually holding a little forward line, trying to make sure they don't lose that point again. They're trying to keep that black timer ticking, which is notable. We can see that the cap rate is kind of, or the ticket cap, decap, the ticket decap of the Union and CSA has slowed.
You know, sometimes
So I mean, CSA just honestly, CSA might as well just keep doing that. I mean, they got time to sit and shoot if they want, but I don't know. I mean, the tickets haven't really been dropping a whole lot since the decaps happened. It's not like it's been a long time, but
Charlie, you should go start the first VA again, dude.
Y'all are some of the best human body shields, I like to say.
I don't please,
Double line, come on.
Get you.
Not the 88, come on, boys, double line. Who's calling him handsome?
Whoa,
Left dress, boys, left dress.
You don't hit a saluting man.
Elvis Jumbo
Yeah, you're right. In place, Raz.
We're ready, Ollie.
No respect, Shiloh. No respect for his own CO. He's unreal.
Walter,
You know?
what the fuck are you doing?
I have no comment.
We get a half of a penny raise. Like, what the fuck's that shit?
You get paid?
Oh, you know?
No. This is free
Oh,
labor.
damn.
Guys left!
Damn.
Double quick!
the important conversations of the war. Anyways. With that all being said, CSA is moving up to the point again. They're moving up with a a lot more guys as well. And some are just going, they're just trying to kill the arty guys. We try to get a shot off. Anyways, it's mostly A and V. Alabama Volunteer Corps is pushed up behind. A and V's trying to spread out a little more. You got HL a little further behind, and CSA is going to cap again. CSA slightly down on tickets.
Oh my god, why don't we keep early camping?
It's the plan, Stasis. It's the plan. Trust the process.
Right oblique on that mark.
But Union's probably going to do a similar thing. They're probably just going to push down each side. They didn't really like try to collapse in on this side here. Because if you're Union, right, everyone's losing tickets. You want to avoid a whole lot of casualties in the counterattack phase just so you can keep that timer going with everyone having a good chunk of tickets still.
Yeah, we still have to be double ranks even on these stone walls, guys. So, dress forward. Make sure we're double ranks.
If you're loaded, push up to the new form of the way.
I like this one.
6 hours the road.
Ceasefire.
So I like it. They gotta work on this ticket difference a little bit. You can see CSA's playing a little more aggressively on this side. They've pushed up a little further. I think that was part of it. I think it was Loma, Mississippi for the Union that washed up and just prevented CSA from getting up on the flank and reinforcing. So, but I mean, overall, CSA is doing a very, very good job. You got CSA on this side, kind of doing a similar thing, pushing up, although CSA normally pushes up here anyways.
Making good shots. Fire.
God, I got 3 or 4. See, Union. I mean, it's been 3 or so minutes. Tickets are kind of evening out here.
Just left that tree where that bush is to a shot.
What game are we getting at, Union?
Roughly 3 minutes.
Roughly 3 minutes? I was gonna like look in the chat, but I forgot that they can't talk in the chat. The event I watched last night, you can communicate via the in-game text, so we got to hear them via runners, or just them yapping to each other.
Good job, Parker, with the flag. You're doing a great job, bud.
Keep on the car,
Dude,
no.
I'm just fucking eating.
Playing War of Rights or watching War of Rights, I mean, I think this can apply to a lot of things as well. When you're eating food during it, it's just significantly better.
Should be able to shoot him a bit further down.
I'm sure, though, that would be great commentary, though, where you just hear me, like, yawping or gnashing my teeth as I'm eating chips or something like that. I'm sure that would sound wonderful.
Watch out,
Ceasefire, ceasefire. Ceasefire, take it easy.
It's like I was eating dinner last night watching public matches. I don't know, it was enjoyable. It was more enjoyable than what it normally is. Not that this isn't fun to do in the first place, but you know what I mean. Anyways, Union's finally making a move. 4 minutes into the counterattack. Tickets overall have about evened up. But we'll see if CSA can at least keep tickets even, maybe even get a ticket lead. Normally when Union tries to retake the point at CSA, especially if you're up by a fair amount of tickets, CSA usually tries to like push in. But CSA is trying to collapse on the side. Union is on the inside part of that stone wall. Oh my goodness.
Are we just charging? What is this?
Unfortunately, they can't sprint, and that makes it extremely difficult. HL gets completely shot up. I think HG is with him as well. Texas Guards kind of sat further back. They're going to volley and maybe hit a guy or two. A lot of those went over. But Union's going to retake this point, and it looks like tickets are slightly in Union's favor. So, I mean, Union's getting some ticket lead here, but it's not a significant amount.
Je suis pas sûr. Hein.
Attendez, tirez pas. Arrête le feu.
Je suis pas sûr que tu puisses. Ah, si tu peux.
Watch your left. They can hit you from here. Even at the knee, the guys on your left can shoot you on the fence.
Oh my god. Gentlemen, as soon as we get this point, let's move back. Move the flag back to the quick.
So Union retakes. They're slightly ahead. CSA, they can do that one more time. I mean, you want to, at least on this map, in my opinion, if you're CSA, you keep capping until each side is like a middle taking losses, and then after, once both sides kind of hit that, don't bother capping anymore. Just because you don't want to risk going in the last stand. I don't think it'll really matter for an event like this, just because normally the game mechanics aren't pushed to their limit here. And with that being the case,
We got targets.
it might not. I mean, CSA could do it a little later if they want, but I mean, normally in this game, when you're halfway through taking, both sides are halfway through taking losses, more particularly the defenders. Right, by that point, you normally don't want to cap anyways, because with an early cap, there's a potential chance you could lose the point, drag things out, possibly hit last stand as an attacker, but you also know you're about to hit the defenders into breaking, and at that point you can cap and win. And so that's why you just shouldn't cap at that point. That guy just flopped like a fish when he dropped. Anyways, we're still not with bayonets and sprinting, which is why they're retreating at the double quick. But anyways,
Hold your shots, H. Hold your shots.
Hey, left side right, shift it right. Check. Check.
Yeah, take aim at the end of the bush. Keep aiming the same bush.
HL fall back. HL fall back. HL fall back.
3, 2, 1, fire!
Elbow takes that.
They should not still be people.
Unfortunately, lost
and with that, CSA's kind of holding up in the middle. Maybe CSA's waiting for both sides to hit taking losses and then going for that cap, just so that counterattack timer is 7 minutes instead of 12. At that point, you could maybe try to just fully hold the point there. Because again, CSA's held the point, but they haven't like fully done it as a team, and they actually have already pretty far up on the road here. Uh-oh.
Take the cannon. Take the cannon, gun him down.
For the Union and
Oh, they don't get it off. Regardless, some CSA have pushed up 8 Shell and 6 Alabama. Alabama Volunteer Corps as well, pushing up this way. Union have kind of moved up. Actually, they're retreating. Never mind.
And then pull it back a little bit. Pull it back.
Pull it back a little bit.
Fall back. Fall back. Fall back.
South.
Fall back.
Right here. This is good. Right here. Pull back.
With that, CSA dropped taking losses, so Union's about to follow in a moment. CSA is holding on cap, so they're trying to cap it again. I like that. Bayonets and sprinting is now allowed.
Fix bales. Fix bales.
Hey gars, on recule le canon.
Fix bayonet. Fix bayonet.
On recule le canon les gars.
Keep shooting.
Bah vous êtes pas à me dire pareil donc au bout d'un moment bon. Ouais pas mal sur ma droite et pas volonté. Pas volonté celui-là.
Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Keep shooting.
On les prend de flanc, allez.
Shut up. Shut up, Flores.
Shoot a guy on the right. Shoot offs on the right.
And some of the Union that pushed up CSA is just throwing off.
Independent on the wall there, Georgia.
Let him up, boys.
And Union is trying to prevent the cap a little bit, or at least make sure CSA can't counterattack it for so long. However, CSA hold off the initial part. A couple more Union left. And, I mean, that's a good start there for CSA. It's 7-minute counterattack instead of 12. And, I mean, CSA could outright try to hold this for 6.5 minutes, which, if we look here, most of their team has pushed up. And CSA is maybe trying to push a little more ground. Texas Guards moving up.
Oh, sorry, it was my shot.
Charge in!
Let's go. Let's start healing again. Pull back.
Make sure you don't step friendly.
Brace.
Break me for us.
Keep going.
And it looks like CSA is just trying to win it now. Union in the distance, at least top left side through the smoke. You can't see him now. They, I thought they were pushing up, but they're still sitting there. Some Union are trying to flank around the backside. But CSA are holding 1.5 minutes through the counterattack. Union main spawn, by the way, is right here. Almost looked at the Union already, but... I mean, here's the thing. Union's trying to take on most of the CSA team. And Union's got like 6 New York sitting off on the side. 2nd U.S. Cav, they're shooting. They're not going to be doing a whole lot off in the distance. I mean, you have a couple of Union guys over here as well. The 2 core guys, but... 5 minutes on the counterattack. Union down on tickets. Union's trying to go in again at the center. And it looks like CSA, for the most part, they're starting to spawn back at main a little bit, or they're just on flags. Union's eventually able to break through them, mostly just because their main spawn is really close. But it looks like CSA is going to lose the point. Union's going to maybe regain a couple tickets. Union being charged down on this side. And if Union retakes this, right, they... I mean, again, regain a little bit of tickets, but they're in a bad spot. Halfway through taking losses with 29 minutes left, that's rough. Union, in my opinion, should try to... I don't know. I don't think they have enough time. They don't.
Hold them off. Be on the point.
I mean, if you want to try to knock the attacking team, CSA here in the last stand, you need to have them cap the point when both sides are about to drop to their next stage. So both sides need to be at a low taking losses, and then if you cap at that point, try to go in. Both sides, or the attackers need to be at a low taking losses, or a low engaged, or a low battle ready. And the defenders need to be in that original stage with them as well, for that really to happen. Union already shooting through. CSA trying to charge the side here. They're just trying to burn tickets, so I like the charge from Texas Guards here. See, Union won't be able to go up as much. CSA, HL's pushing up, trying to contest this. Because once Union retakes too, right, Union regains a little tickets, but they're almost in breaking, so CSA wants to keep contesting this and bringing everyone down.
Get in there.
And so the Union side will retake, but both sides are right back. They're about to drop to the next stage. Union probably going to hit breaking first, and for that reason, I assume they're going to stay on point.
We're kind of in a good spot, brother. I mean, we can move back if you want. But
6 pull back, 6 pull back, back into the staffilade.
6 pull back, 6 into the death.
Yeah, but a little bit more.
Hug the wall, boys.
Get everybody's bayos, you know.
So, We'll probably get a moment of relaxation here. CSA flag is down, but they should be able to get that back.
Nice
Yeah.
shot by the artillery
I'm
as
just gonna
well.
keep repeating those 3 words.
They're pushing up to 1-3 up front. Make them pay.
Let them know, GameBot.
20th on us, boys. 20th on us. There we go. Thank you.
New York, 6 New York, keep coming up here. Form up in the line. Reload, bayonets. Don't be in that group. Get hit by
Yeah, poking his
cannons,
head. I got it. Okay, boys, keep it up.
got
Keep it
rear.
up. I got front. Keep it up.
Oh, Stockwell.
So a lot of CSA actually spawned back in main. I assume CSA is just gonna get formed up and they're gonna go in.
I didn't even see that shit.
That's an order.
Work smart, not hard, Stasis.
Over here, boys. Over here.
Yeah. I'd rather work hard. Very dumbly.
That's a quote, right? Work smarter, not harder. Should work smarter and harder. That's the best way to go about that.
There we go. We got this.
And I would kind of agree. I'd almost have a better. I would much rather have a better work ethic than necessarily being smart off the rip per se.
All right, let's go.
Dress to the right.
I think that does you better in the long run for a lot more things. So, with that all being said, both sides hit breaking, and here goes CSA going to try to finish the round now. Now, CSA just has to watch the tickets here, if anything, but
Keep going, boys.
unless
keep
CSA
going.
gets down to about a third, or if they're down by a third or a half morale stage, then they are kind of in a bad spot, but I don't think that'll happen.
Remember, press team. Keep moving. Left and right.
Point still being held by Union. CSA is pushing up on both sides now. They actually might just charge in on this side.
Come here, Yankee Doodle. Come here, Red. Come here. Every one of you. Oh, you're off. Shut up. Shut up.
Where's Parker?
Oh, sorry, Shallow.
So Union's gonna barely hold on to that. And it looks like CSA got thrown off on that side. Tickets are slightly in Union's favor.
On the left. Charging on the left.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Get up to them, independent fire, independent fire.
Union trying, some more trying to, second US Cav trying to charge into them, which I don't know if that's a good idea or not per se. I guess it depends on the result. And some more CSA going in, Texas Guards going in. They what a wipe from them. What the heck? They just went in there and completely wiped them. And that ticket gap has definitely grown in CSA's favor now, especially with that charge.
I hate you all.
The rest of the Union are trying to sneak down to the stone wall to... I mean, maybe they're trying to find some way to get a ticket lead at this point. So London, Mississippi heading really far forward. Maybe trying to get their flags to prevent them from getting respawns up front. Which Union, at least in this vicinity, outnumber, but points going in their favor. London, Mississippi charging in.
Get back with the wall, get back with the wall.
Slow. Cut off the retreat up and over. Cut off the retreat. Cut him off. Don't let me get the flag.
Let's go.
There we go. Easy clips.
You got more CSA reinforcements now moving in. Union, for the most part, they're respawning in or kind of holding back. They're now starting to go in. Tickets definitely in CSA's favor. Point is going in CSA's favor.
Get in there. Shell, get in.
Full send, full send.
CSA not pushing past the point. That ticket gap growing in CSA's favor, and it looks like the CSA is going to knock Union the last stand or win before that. Got some Union that are charging, and some are just holding back and shooting. I don't know what 2nd U.S. Cav is doing.
Right side, OMB, right side, right face.
Hey, you leave that drone alone.
Cloud, watch your right here.
And with that being said, that looks like it's going to be our round here, so really well done on part of CSA. They played this map as you should. For a while, the meta for Union on this map was just to sit back and shoot from a distance, which I don't get why CSA would do that. Every time they'd lose that shootout, but when it comes to tickets as well. So I don't necessarily get the reasoning for that per se, but I'm glad we're starting to see the charge and early cap meta come back. It's like Burnside's bridge. We saw CSA tightly hold the bridge, and then for some reason they wanted to completely hold off and just let Union cross the bridge, and now they've gone back to that original meta, and so I'm glad they did that. But with that all being said, good 1-1 today. And yeah, good fights. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon where you get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord, merch, X, Instagram, TikTok, and more. Anyways, I appreciate you all. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.